Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio station, KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Spreaker, Streaker, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So if you're listening to the news right now, I will not be covering any of the headlines. You have plenty of places to catch that where most of the time it'll leave you saying, what's wrong with people? Instead, I want you to focus on what's right with people and what's right with you and me. So I have topics and guests to that end for the last 656 consecutive weeks. But who's counting? And I'm so delighted that you're also watching and listening, because now all of my shows are housed on my YouTube TV channel. Free subscribe, and you'll get to comment and chat and talk with my very special guests. And today is no exception. It is Tuesday, which means it's Tuesday Talent. And I'm so delighted to have here someone who's been in my life for 15 years. I can always count on him for a big smile, a big hug, and a kiss on the lips that his wife knows about. And it's rare. It's the rare artist that is larger than the canvas they occupy. Their mission is bigger than the stage that they stand on. Their commitment and contribution extend beyond themselves to encompass all who come into contact with them. Jami Lula is one of them. Please welcome to my studio live, Jami Lula. Good morning, darling.
Good morning, love. How are you?
I am happy and grateful. And speaking of gratitude, I start every show and I don't tell my guests ahead of time because I want it to be a little spontaneous. Breakfast means that we take a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So the top of the bun is things you're grateful for outside of yourself, as specific as possible. And the bottom of the bun, we're going to model for you what you do before you go to bed. Instead of thinking about all the things you didn't get done, you didn't do right, who done who wrong, who done me wrong. Instead, we're going to talk about what grateful things you have inside of yourself. So what do you appreciate about yourself? That's the bottom of the bun. So we're going to do 8 because 8's a lucky number and it's a homophone in Chinese. So top of the bun, ready? Jami, I am grateful for people like Jami Lula in my life. I don't talk to him that often. You've seen his wife on the show before, Susie Lula, but I just know that he's there and his love and presence is always there for me, never against me. And that, that people like Jami in our agape community is what keeps my positive roots watered there. So that's my gratitude.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for Susie Lula, and grateful for William Lula. Grateful for our little nuclear family, and the blessings, and obviously grateful for agape because that's where I met Susie. I mean, we started out as prayer partners, and that was a different way of going about relationship for me. I had done the whole going out and being as dysfunctional as possible until I found a way to lean into someone that was available to spirit and a desire to grow in consciousness. And I think that we've created a great team. So I'm absolutely grateful for Susie.
Absolutely.
And for my son, William, who's another creative, brilliant young mind.
Yes, I remember him very well. when he was little. And I know he's not little anymore.
No.
When he was little, he would have his cape, and I just loved watching him flow through agape with his cape on. I'm grateful for fabric softener. I love the smell of Bounce, and I should get them to sponsor the show. But I love that smell. I'm grateful that we have modern conveniences like washers and dryers and things that not everybody gets to enjoy.
Yeah.
What else are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my shower this morning. I went and rode 15 miles, did a spinning class this morning, was able to come home and take a nice hot shower, and I feel clean and vibrant. And I'm grateful for water, once again, that not everybody on the planet has access to. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm just putting a quick Jami Lula tag on a story so people can come join us live here if you're wondering what I'm doing. And I pulled up some music background. You've got a lot of discography on Instagram Music. Congratulations. That's amazing. All those reels there. I hope I tagged the right person, but that's done now. I am last one. Let's do one each. I am grateful for my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, Agape celebrating 38 years. What a great celebration. Jami did an amazing job singing Imagine. It is definitely the best rendition of Imagine that I've ever heard. So that is
I agree.
I actually taped it and put it on the promo. If those of you saw my little preview of the guest today, let's go to the bottom of the bun. So the bottom of the bun is gratitude turned inwards. Abraham Hicks calls it appreciation. The reason why I want you to exercise this muscle with me every single morning on the show, I've been doing this for 2 years now, because if you don't know how good you are, frankly, my dear, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anybody else to approve of you? So that's why I want us to say, what do we like about ourselves? Jami, what do you like about yourself?
It's interesting because I'm grateful for the shadow and the light within myself, because I recognize that the shadow are the seeds that are germinating and have something to teach me, and the light is the brightness that I bring when I sing and I open up. But it's like, I'm grateful for the shadow too. It's an aspect of myself that allows me to live on the edge, and it allows me to grow and expand. And I've gotten curious. I used to judge and have a lot of shame about the shadow. But I recognize that there's something germinating, that there's something more that wants to be expressed and revealed as a result of the shadow. I don't have to live in the darkness, but there's so much to learn from it for me.
Yeah, that reminds me, when I first got to Agape and I took a course, Universal Principles of Spirituality from Big Brother Michael, and you want to be a good student and you're practicing all these disciplines and things. And I woke up one morning and it was like nothing was wrong, right? But I felt really bad, fat and ugly attack, judging, shaming, all of that. And I caught him, after on a Sunday, and I said, I'm having a really hard time. And he looked, and I thought he was going to say, buck it up and and remember your teachings and and shocked the crap out of me. He goes, "Oh, you're just having a dark night of the soul."
Yeah.
I went, okay. And that was my first lesson in exactly what you're saying. Isn't it wonderful when we know that everything's going to be okay in the end? And if it's not okay, it's not the end. And it's all good.
Yeah. It's the idea of not doing the spiritual bypass. So like you said, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. And it's like, what? Sometimes it doesn't feel good. And what Susie's taught me, a great lesson that she's learned, it's like, is that understanding. It's like when I sit with what's going on and ask it, what are you here to teach me? It opens up new avenues. But when I judge it and went, I celebrated 31 years of sobriety in July. And it's like, I drank and drugged and sexed and did all the different things that I did in my life to not feel that stuff and to be that far away from it and to allow myself to feel it and to recognize it's not something bad. It's something that I can use. It's something that enhances my life instead of feeling shame about it. It's like, how can I allow it to reach the light and to grow and to bloom?
Beautiful.
It's magnificence. Yeah.
I didn't know we shared that. I'll be 16 January 25th.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous. July 18th was 31 years.
That's so cool. And isn't it great that, that breath that I used to get from single malt scotch, and then there was all these consequences afterwards. Now I can just go,
yeah,
I love my life. That naturally high is what I call it.
Yeah.
We share that for sure. All right. One more thing that you like about yourself.
What I like about myself is that my life is turned from, like when I originally got sober, it's like, what about me? What about me? To how can I be of service? How can I be of service? How can I be of service through my gifts and my talents, and recognizing that it's not about me. It's how that the vibration that I bring forward through my music, through my speaking, through my teaching, is to be of service. And I learned that. I learned that in 12 steps. I mean, it's like, how can I be of service and to be a beneficial presence on the planet?
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess that's a good cue to give you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award. Here we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not every guest gets that. And it's the funniest thing. Last time Michael was on, I gave that to him.
Yeah. As well he is.
He is.
And he's created a safe environment for people to rise up into that beneficial presence that they are and go out in the world. It's not about him. It's about you rise up and go out and be that beneficial presence on the planet.
Yes. Yeah. The best thing I saw, the banner I saw, I don't even remember when and where, it said, Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith creates not followers, but leaders.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. And you're one, I'm one, Akuyo Graham. That's why I call her my satellite sister. I don't know if you knew that. That's exactly what. Yeah. So you're a satellite brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'll end. One thing that I do love about myself is that I've dropped the cultural shame that I carried around with me. I may have looked like I was cool with being on stage and speaking my mind. Obviously, I've been giving you a piece of my mind, PEACE, for the last over 12 years on this platform. But I carried a lot of shame because Asian women do not do this. Asian women do not, and I'll never forget the moment I had an astrologist on the show. She read my charts and she said, "You're a Leo with 5 planets." And I said, "What does that mean?" She goes, "You just can't help yourself." And in that moment, all of that, slipped away, and I embrace who I am in the imperfectness that I am. And 88% I'm fabulous, 12% I step in it. But I'm grateful for all that I am, as I'm grateful for all that you are. And that is it for Breakfast with Dr. Marissa and
Jami Lula.
Thanks for joining us. If you repeat this good life habit, #Blisscipline, for the next 28 consecutive days, with or without me on the air, I promise you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now I got this. I won this actually. We're gonna start officially the show portion, getting to know Jami. We're so lucky. We're fortunate. We're going to hear some of his music, but here we go. Jami, what are we talking about today? Is that on there? Oh yeah, that's my newest little sound effect.
There
But
you go.
whatever you would like to talk about, I purposely don't do pre-interviews. I love live shows because you just never know what we're going to talk about. But everything we talk about is exactly what you're going to need to hear because that's just the way my world works. And we've already covered so many things just at breakfast. If you have anything you would like to know about Jami or questions that you have of either one of us, please don't do it if you're driving right now, listening on the AM, FM side. But when you land, just go to YouTube TV channel, Dr. Marissa, and just start identifying on the chat. We'll put your comments and questions on the screen. So I'll just start. Jami, did you know when you were a little one that you would be doing what you're doing and having the impact that you're having?
I started singing from a pretty young age, and I know
How
that
old? How
I don't
young?
know, 3 to 5.
Oh.
But it's not out.
Mhm.
The first memory that I have of singing was I used to sing myself to sleep, and I had a radio show, and it would be because I grew up in Detroit, and the AM station was CKLW, the Motor City, and I'd start singing songs and stuff, and it comes up in one of my songs. It's like my mom would crack the door and say, "Okay, honey, it's time to go to sleep," because I would be in there for a long time, like singing songs and then talking and then singing another song, and she'd crack the door and she said, "Okay, honey, it's time to go to sleep." That's what comes forward like early on in my life. I had no idea. I think when I was in high school, I don't think I felt real good about myself, and I remember saying I didn't know how to approach girls and stuff, and it's like I used to say, if you could hear me sing, then you'd like me. And it's for a long time it was the mask that I wore, because underneath that mask, when I got up and performed and jumped around and did my Mick Jagger and David Bowie moves and all that stuff, it was the facade that I carried, because underneath was a tremendous amount of pain and stuff, pain that I didn't even know where it came from. And I think, and even up to Agape, I just celebrated 30 years at Agape in March. And I was singing when I got to Agape, but I learned how to really sing when I got to Agape, because I got in touch with that, those aspects of myself and the mission and the purpose behind singing. But when I was younger, I think I just wanted to be loved.
Interesting, because that would explain why I call you, like, I have different, singers I love, and I'll say their voices like butter or, things like that. But you have the distinction in my mind as you are an instrument in and of yourself. Like, you don't just sing, like your whole being is an instrument. So we're playing Jami Lula, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you just described why that happens to me when I hear you.
Yeah.
You learn how to access your soul that comes out.
Yeah. Well, my prayer every time before I get up and sing is, get thee behind me. It's like, get that part of me. And it's like, just use me as a conduit, including Sunday when I sang Imagine. It's like, second service and my wife's there, and, there's a lot more people. It's like I'm reminded it's not about me. It's not about me. Let me serve and celebrate. and hopefully tap into those parts of people. And what came back to me, and not from an egoic, because the number of people that came up, and it's like I was bawling my head off. I've never heard the song that way. I had Stacy, who sang earlier, saying I had a revelation, said, she goes, you know what? And I'm probably calling her out on this, but she says, I've never liked that song. And you can't say that to people that you don't like, She said, but I heard it today. And now I love that song. And it's, a lot of people say it's like, oh, you've made it yours. And it's like, I like to do that when I sing other people's songs. I don't try to think what John Lennon was saying. It's like, what's it saying to me? And what do I want to convey with the song? And the song is such a powerful message. And, I've taken some liberties lyrically, like I open up with, imagine we're in heaven, instead of imagine there is no heaven. And I think my perception of that is that John Lennon was talking, it's like, there's no heaven out there or in the afterlife. And as we learn in our teaching, it's like heaven or hell is what we create,
Hear, hear.
So,
I'm going to drop the moose on that. That was a moose drop. So, I was born in Canada. So instead of talking about the elephant in the room, we talk about the moose on the table.
Okay.
And instead of a mic drop, we get a moose drop. So that was a moose drop. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You write songs. How do you get inspired? What is that process? Because I think that many people could be writing music that aren't think that artists are somewhere out there.
Right.
So take us through a little bit of how do you prepare? What do you think? I want everybody to try everything once. That's my life motto.
Yeah.
Give me your answer to that. Your take on that.
It comes in so many different ways. There are times when I wake up in the middle of the night and Susie's like, yeah, I felt you get up and you went back to the studio. and there's times where someone just says something. I'll give you a great example. Susie and I, when we started out as prayer partners, she was doing a 30-day prayer devotional with Kathy Mack. And I'm like, what's that? She goes, we call each other every morning and we see what we want to be held in prayer for. So we were doing that. This is before we actually started dating, but it wasn't long after this. We start in that 30 days, we realized there was something more going on. But I was sitting in prayer and she's praying and I said, hold on. I got to let you go because something's calling me. And it's like I got this download and I went and started writing my song, Something's Calling Me. And it just kind of came through. And then, I had written a couple verses and choruses, and then I was at her house. She was still living in Sherman Oaks, and Ed Munter and I were at her house talking about what she could do with her piano CDs that she created and how she could, capitalize on it and go out. And I said, well, I wrote this and I don't have the bridge though. And Susie's a classically trained pianist. She's got her master's in piano performance from Carnegie Mellon. And so she doesn't know anything about pop music for the most part, maybe the Beatles and Simon and Garfunkel. But she says, I don't know why this is coming to me, but something says it's supposed to be bluesy. And it's like, that's when I wrote the bridge, which is A minor to C7 to D7 up to the E and E7. But it's like, it comes in so many different ways. I agree with you that everybody's got a song within them. And it reminds me, because I'm doing a songwriters retreat up at Camp Cedar Ridge in Vernonia, Oregon, President's Day weekend. It's a 4-day weekend. We're doing it. And it's like, it's open to songwriters that have been doing it for a while and people that just, they want to get some tools to write. But it happens in sometimes it starts out with a lyric. Sometimes it starts out with a guitar part. Sometimes it starts out with a melodic figure. Sometimes it starts out with a groove. But I think it's that idea of, can I suspend judgment of myself and just allow that what wants to come through and just don't judge it. Just put it down. And if you're not confident within yourself, it's like, talk to someone that plays guitar or writes, and it's like, can you help me with this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Can you play that one? Is that a good one to play? Something's coming through.
Something's calling me.
Calling me. Sorry. I got the something right. We're going to take a quick break for traffic, weather, and news here on KCAA AM 1050 FM 106.5 NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah. Do not go away. When we come back, we're going to hear a song that we've just been talking about. Jamie's going to share that with us. So, as Chuck Woolery, bless him, on the other side now would say, we'll be back in 2 and 2. But you know me, I say peace in, peace out. Don't go away. Jamie, hold that song. We'll be right back.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, #1 talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And on streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, my YouTube TV channel that houses all 1,276 podcast shows. I was doing podcasts before they called them podcasts, but who's counting? And so delighted that the people that told me a show that didn't talk about the headlines and did not talk about anything negative were wrong. I lasted more than a year, 12 and a half years later. I'm still here. So glad you're all with me, and you're all with me witnessing my first interview. It's about time with Jami Lula, who is multi-platform artist. Not only that, he's an instrument, I say, in and of himself, and he's going to sing for us a song that got downloaded to him. And he's also, you can, before I forget, I just looked up Jami Lula, but the website is just a holding. So if you have information on that songwriter's retreat, let me know. And I want to put that up because I know that something's calling y'all who want to do a little bit more with their lives than just the same old, same old. And I can't think of a better teacher to help you express the song that's within you. But without further ado, Jami Lula.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Feels like I'm walking on marbles. Can't still the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the sky, my naked legs left dangling. I can feel my heart begin to pound. Everybody say it, something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. A long dark night, my soul, it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere, then I belong. Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Oh, something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, hold me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, I know I'm not the only one to live inside these blues. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I give my life, I give my love to you. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I surrender my life to you. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Peace is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Forgiveness is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. America's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. God is calling me, and I'm grateful like I've never been before. Thank you for calling me.
Dang, man. Woo, that last note, chills, chills, chills. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And that wasn't even planned. So thank you for honoring the show with that song. And
Thank you.
it's perfect, right up my alley. You know, I'm always trying to get people to, you know, if you're sick and tired of being tired with the same old, here's something you can do in the new year.
Yeah.
February 14th to 17th, I found it.
Thank you.
Songwriting retreat with Jami Lula. You know, if it weren't in the dirt, I would go. Because I looked at that and I think I'm available. What a great, what's that? Valentine's, right? February 14th.
Yes.
What a great loving yourself, although Valentine's for me is Single Awareness Day. But it's a beautiful time for you to go and learn and fall in love with a part of yourself that you didn't maybe know was there. How's that for a commercial, Jami?
Thank you.
But I'm allergic to camping and hiking.
No, I understand. It's kind of rustic. It's rustic. It's the camp that the Centers for Spiritual Living purchased, and they're developing it. They've got an amazing woman, Casey Wilson, who is his managing it, and she's a practitioner, and she grew up in these teachings, and she's fabulous. She's got a great team working there, but they're looking to build it and create more space for adults that don't want to be so rustic. You know, teens can get by with it, but it's cool. It's nice, and there's great food. So
I know if I stayed indoors, I could probably manage the dirt. But anyway,
it is indoors. I mean, it is. You're not camping in tents and stuff like that. But it's rather rustic, and shared
right,
bathrooms and stuff.
right,
So it's
right. We'll see how much I love you.
yeah.
Not even loving myself on this one, but yes, thank you so much, Jamie, for that beautiful song. How many songs have you written and recorded now? It's got to be a lot.
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure exactly, but I knew it was quite a few.
Yeah.
And oops, I lost you there. Sorry. I was trying to get us bigger headed. But I just love that. What would you say is the thing that keeps people from feeling good about themselves? I don't know why I'm asking that one, but it just came through. The whole believing in yourself, feeling like you're worthy, worthwhile, feeling like that the universe is conspiring for you, not against you, that you are good enough, that you have nothing to feel ashamed about. Since we started talking about that,
Yeah.
what is it that keeps us in that ugly rat race in our head?
Yeah. For me, it's isolation. But when I get out in community, and of service and being of service, I find that, it's kind of like what I learned when I got to AA. It's like, get to meetings, be of service, sponsor people, get a sponsor, take commitments. And someone early on said, look at the people that are doing the work. Don't listen to what people are saying. Watch the people that are doing the work. And, the sponsors that I've had, it's like these guys, my sponsor now is like, it's like he does a men's meeting every Thursday. He's at meetings, 5 to 7 times a week. And some people that's overboard, but it's really the service that takes me out of me. When I make it about other people, when I make my music about other people, and it's not look at me, look at me, look at me. Because I know that whole thing of, I'll be honest with you, it still comes up for me, the worthiness in my life, and I've got to continue. I've got to continue to affirm. I do what I call praying for miles whenever I'm on my way to a gig. And it started out when I was driving up to Asilomar the first time I went on my own, and I just started treating. And just drove for miles. And it's like, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to make great friends, and they're going to be friends for life. And I'm going to participate, and I'm going to be an active participant. And I'm going to come with an open heart. I'm going to let down my armor, and I'm just going to keep my heart open and my mind open. And I went, and then, I drive 15 minutes and I could start feeling those voices come back in. And it's like, oh, you're not, they're not going to let, it's like, no, I'd start treating again. And it's like, nope. And I do that. It's such an effective thing when I'm driving. I pray out loud. I know that we've got phones in our cars, so people looking at you talking out loud today is not so, at one point people would look at you when we didn't have cell phones. But, I think for me, it's when I isolate. It's when I don't speak my truth. It's when I don't say to my wife, it's like, I woke up and there's a heaviness in my heart today. And Suze always hears me. My wife always hears me. And it's like, tell me about it, and it's when I try to mask it, try to hold it in, try to not deny it, but it's like the shame that comes up sometimes that I'm feeling this way, that I'm 64 years old and I'm supposed to be, it's everything. It's fabulous. It's all good. It's all good. And it's like, it doesn't feel good. So, bringing light to it, Yeah,
my happy 88 tool is feel it fully. Whatever you're feeling, just feel it fully. And then if it doesn't feel good after a bit, then it's a choice.
Yeah.
Right? The power of focus, the power of choice. It's not the C word, it's the ch word in my thing. With the balance, I hear what you're saying. Like there's no, like the Seinfeld episode with George Costanza's father. Do you remember that one when he went around going, serenity now, right? No matter what happened, serenity now. And by the end of the show, he was so pissed off that he took a bat to like $1 million worth of computer equipment because he was, that's not what we're saying.
Right.
And
not do the spiritual bypass.
And that's a spiritual bypass. Exactly.
Yeah. Don't do the spiritual, articulate it, sit with it, find those people that you feel safe enough to that are going to be a container and hold the space for you, and not go, hey, get over yourself and all that. It's like, and sometimes, you know what? I need someone to say, hey, get over yourself.
And that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Like there is a time limit. I'm all for feeling your feelings fully. And then there are people that make an art form of marinating or ruinating in that horrible feeling. And I think with all the attention on depression and mental health, I think it's great, but balancing that out, you are not your diagnosis. And so I think that, acting on your own behalf and loving yourself sometimes means, the little bit of, tough love on yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, how much time are we going to do this? Because you're not going to get that time back.
Right.
And I definitely, I agree with you. Have to feel it, can't do the bypass. But on the other end of it, don't believe the critical thinking that's going on in your head that's telling you things that make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Because that's really not, you're talking about, talking to yourself. In the old days, it would be, if you hear voices in your head, you're crazy. Right. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you can't sort out the voices in your head, you will go crazy.
Yeah.
And, a lot of us are driving our life car over a cliff because we got our critics sitting in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
And the critics telling you lies.
Right.
I know in the program you're talking about, first year, don't believe anything. Your mind is like a terrible neighborhood.
Don't go in there alone.
Don't go in there alone, right? I still love that saying.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I think it's a disservice to think that you'll never use your mind, because your mind is a creation and source of inspiration when it connects to that power that's out there, that is always on your side, always conspiring for you and downloading so much great shiitake. I almost broke my own FCC rule there. And just to share with you, I tried stand up for the first time because it was something that I wanted to try. And I'm now, actively going in that direction. I'm a motivational speaker that is funny. And now I want to be a stand-up that does motivation.
Yes.
Just for fun.
Well, I love this, the saying of your mind's like a bad neighborhood, don't go in there alone. But I also like what one of my first sponsors said to me. He said, get off the cross. We need the wood. It's like, okay, yes. Thank you. That was like, and Tom Waits actually used that in one of his songs. It's like, I hear that.
Yeah. I didn't know that we shared another level of connection. Yeah. Look forward to exploring that. But we're in the last quarter. We're going to take a quick break for station ID. Don't go away. This is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. And my very special guest this morning is
Jami Lula.
Don't go away. Back. Peace in. Peace out.
Welcome to Balanced Tai Chi Gong. My name is Dr. Marissa Pei. For the next 28 minutes, we will be slow dancing with the universe in a moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time. Just follow the sound of my voice and move with me as I guide you through this ancient wisdom through New Thought practice. As a corporate psychologist, I created this practice in response to my life and those of my clients. We were professional, high achievement-oriented, multitasking control freaks and exhausted. No matter how many successes, it was never enough. That, coupled with a painful life experience, led me on a quest to find another way to live and back to my Chinese roots. If you practice regularly, I can promise you that it will impact all health vortexes, body, mind, spirit, soul. You will be in a place of balance and inner peace the way we were created. 谢谢。
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, #1 talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course my YouTube TV channel, where if you free subscribe, you will get an alert every weekday morning to tune in to this show that wants you to focus on your own reality show. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kanye talk formerly or now. Instead, I want you to enjoy people like Jami Lula, who is here in studio. He's a multi-platform artist who's been sharing his philosophy on how to tap into the beautiful being that you are, that we all are, and how to create music. If you've missed any of the show and you're just tuning in now, please do go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe. You'll get the whole interview, as well as my celebrity playlist, which he's going to be on with my interviews with Halle Berry, the late great Quincy Jones, John Travolta, Temptations, you name it. I've been fortunate enough to get to speak to them, and you can get all those for free. And we're back now for our final segment with Jami Lula. Let's see, married to a past guest of mine, Susie Lula, father to William Lula. He's a satellite brother at Agape International Spiritual Center. He did an amazing job yesterday singing his heart in to us with the beautiful song, Imagine. What else is percolating in that little head of yours that you would like to talk about?
You know, what's percolating, it's interesting because Michael touched on it in the context of what's going on in the country right now. And I you know, immediately in 2016, I really just broke down. I was just devastated at the results. And this time around, it's like, while I'm deeply saddened, it was not the choice that I made. I really had a tremendous amount of faith in Kamala and Tim Walz. And but I had to say, okay, this is an opportunity. And it's like, once again, I didn't want to do the spiritual bypass, and I want people to have the dignity of their process, to feel what they feel. But it's also such a great opportunity to rise up and to bring a higher vibration. It's like I can sink down into that lower vibration of us and them, and I'm not enough, and I'm not worthy, and mea culpa, or I can rise up and stand in that infinite light within me, and you know what? I'm going to go out there and be a beneficial presence. I'm going to go out there and be of service. I'm going to go out there and raise the vibration wherever I am, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's like it's a call, and it's like because you know, and it's not, once again, not to do the spiritual bypass. We could have gone to sleep had Kamala been, you know. And it's like, the truth of the matter is it doesn't matter who is in office. It's like it's about each of us individually continuing to call forward that highest vibration, to stay in that upper room. You know, it's like when we go in the basement sometimes, but it's like, get out of there as soon as you can and how can I serve? How can I be a beneficial presence? How can it? And it doesn't have to be something magnanimous. It doesn't have, don't have to go. It's the small things. It's the kindnesses that we treat each other with. It's the opening of doors. It's being polite. It's letting people in trap. It's the small things, and not buying into the anger and the fear that just creates a tension. And it's like, let's open our hearts. And this is a big lesson for me, because it's like, I know when my armor comes up, and it's like, my job is to dismantle my armor and know that I'm finally guided, guarded, and protected by the clear white light of the Holy Spirit. I'm surrounded and indwelled. Nothing can hurt, harm, or endanger me. Let me serve. Let me be a beneficial presence. That's
beautiful. Beautiful. Very well said. Edith is in my cashew gallery. It's so nice to see you. And thank you for tuning in. She's a longtime supporter, and great to see you in studio today. And I actually got quite a bit of criticism for not going public into this platform for my own choices.
mm-hmm.
And it was, I really struggled with it because, not a big fan of orange.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
I like color orange.
yes. But at the same time, I am not my politics. I am not my vote. I'm a beneficial presence on the planet for all.
Yes.
Not separated by party, not separated by like, dislike, or fear. I'm not separated by fear. And I wrestled with it, prayed, meditated, and made the decision. And I'm so glad I did, because this is about, I'm now on Operation Agree to Disagree.
Mm-hmm.
We used to be able to disagree and still focus on solution, regardless of what party. That bipartisan is one of my favorite words. We all want similar things. We all want love. We all want peace. We all want a lot of different things. So focus on those things. And hate is hate.
Yeah.
Right? Hate, that we're saying, that lower vibration. Hate is hate. So if you hate something, you're doing the same darn thing that you're criticizing. And so I'm so glad that we are very clear at Agape. And if you're allergic to religion like I was, it's not a religion. It's a design for living, just like the other one. It's a way to feel good about yourself. That's why I'm there. I'm tired of beating myself up. I'm tired of thinking that I'm a piece of shiitake, and every once in a while I think I'm hot shiitake, but most of the time I think I'm a piece of shiitake, hot shiitake, piece of shiitake. And that's exhausting. And that's the way I was living my life before, I got January 25th was one design for living. February 22nd is when I met Michael at Agape. And then 2 years later, Abraham Hicks. So I call myself a AAA threat.
There you go. There you go.
And we are so blessed to know who we are. And I know that y'all can know who you are. And if you've tuned in, never even heard of me or Jami, just know that this is a safe place to be. Edith knows. I got a little love there and a little finger. She gave us the finger, not that finger, but this finger. Can you tell that I love to laugh, Jami?
Yeah. Important. It's important. It's very important.
Cardio for your soul. Final word. Give it to us.
Love is my religion is what comes forward for me right now. It's one of my songs. Love is my religion, and it's not a dogma. It's not a us and them. It's, my blessing in life is that I've been able to pray with so many people from so many different faiths. And if we could all just hear each other pray from the different faiths and gain that greater understanding that we're all talking about the same thing. We have different verbiage that we use, but the consistent thing that I witness is may my family be healthy and live in peace, and may our crops grow. That's kind of the common theme. There's no one I've ever heard praying about this person should die or this person. It's like, no, the best of religion is about bringing the highest vibration out of us. It's not about keeping us down. So pray with your friends. Pray with those friends that ask them
Don't look
to pray
like
with
you.
I remember praying with John Barnes and him doing these Baha'i prayers, and I'm like, oh. And then this imam taking us through the steps and why they pray 5 times a day and taking us through it. And it was like so beautiful. Or chanting with the Hare Krishnas, or whatever it is. It's like there's so many different beautiful prayers that are available to us that will enliven us and help us elevate the vibration within us, that we might bring it out to the world.
Beautiful. And there it is. Imagine in words.
Yeah.
From Jami Lula. Thanks so much for joining us today. Thank you, Jami. Share for coming on to my show. And I just had a final come through that I've had all show and I haven't been able to say, so I'll probably kick myself if I don't say it. Something that I learned from Big Brother Michael Bernard Beckwith: in every situation, ask yourself, and I have it on my alarm every morning at 9, it says, what is being birthed in you right now as a direct result of what is going on right now? Is it more kindness, more love, more joy, peace, more inspiration, more creativity? What is being birthed in you right now in this exact situation? And I'll leave you with that. Thanks so much, everyone. Tune in tomorrow. It's Doctors in the House with myself and Dr. Tiffany Tate. And then it's a happy Thanksgiving. We're going dark on Thursday. I'll be back on Thursday with, I'm not quite sure, maybe I'll take the day off too. But thanks so much for tuning in today. It's all about balance. Ready, Jami? Peace in.
Peace in.
Peace out. World peace through inner peace.
Amen. Amen.
Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.